Hey guys, I'm Kenny, and welcome back to my show, The Next Multibagger. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about Lucid Motors, which yesterday reportedly merged with Churchill Capital Corp, or CCIV. Now, I've been a big fan of Lucid Motors as this car company has been prototyping and developing cars for a while now. Now, 3 years ago, Marquez Brownlee, or MKBHD, came out with a video breaking down Lucid Motors and showing off their car. Now, that was my first introduction to the car, and after that, I've been a big fan of them. Now, it's a really exciting time for Lucid Motors because in 2021, they're planning on doing production and shipping out their cars. Now, it's been a while since Lucid teased out their cars, and they've been continuing to develop them for the past 3 to 4 years. Now, I think it would be a perfect time for Lucid to go public, and I think this could be a great chance for them to get more exposure on the market, as well as gain capital for them to continue to reinvest in their company. Now, as of Tuesday, January 12th, 2020, it's still only rumored that Lucid Motors is going to go public through merger with CCIV. Despite this, however, there are a lot of indicators that point towards that they are going to be merging. Now, in this video, I'm going to break down those different points, as well as break down the company and what I am going to be doing with the stock. Okay, so without further ado, let's dive right into it. Lucid Motors was founded in 2007 under the name Atieva, and originally focused on building electric vehicle batteries and powertrains for other vehicle manufacturers. Some of Lucid's 500 employees as of 2016 have been previously worked at other car companies such as Tesla and Mazda, including Peter Rawlinson, the former VP of Engineering at Tesla, and Derek Jenkins, the former head of design at Mazda North American Operations. Now, Peter Rawlinson is currently the CEO and has a lot of different background as he was one of the main engineers who worked on the Model S. The company rebranded to Lucid Motors in October 2016 and officially announced its intent to develop an all-electric, high-performance luxury vehicle. Now, the Lucid Air is a luxury electric sedan with the speed and power to rival Tesla. The sedan will get up to 517 miles of range, can hit a quarter mile in under 10 seconds, packs over 1,000 horsepower, and will have a base price of under $80,000. It seems as if every electric vehicle that's released these days is inevitably held against Tesla for comparison. But few electric vehicles actually have Tesla DNA running through their bloodstream, and the Lucid Air is one of those vehicles. That's not to say Lucid Air is some Model S knockoff. That's actually far from it, as the Air seems to outperform the Model S in a variety of categories, from range, acceleration, and charging time. What it means is that the Air was designed by people who claim to have its intimate knowledge of Tesla's path to global EV domination. It's a familiarity that is sure to intrigue customers with a big bank accounts and extra space in their driveway. Unlike other so-called Tesla killers though, Lucid Motors has wealthy backers and global reach to successfully challenge Musk. And now, with its first production car out in the open, and the announcement that it's officially working on an SUV as a follow-up, Rawlinson's plan to steal customers from his former employer will finally be put up to the test. Now, Lucid is now accepting refundable reservations for the Air, $1,000 for the base model, $7,500 for the Dream Edition, and will begin making deliveries starting from spring of 2021. Now, the vehicles will presumably roll off the assembly at Lucid's still under construction 820,000 square foot factory in the Casa Grande, Arizona. But the company is already working on its next vehicle, an SUV. The push to develop a second car is coming, in part from Saudi Arabia, according to the people familiar with the company's plans. Now, as we know, sales of larger cars and trucks are through the roof, and major automakers have followed Tesla's lead by developing an all-electric SUV. So this SUV is probably the least shocking move for Lucid, and based on its price, the Lucid Air is bound to be a niche vehicle sought by customers who likely already own an electric vehicle or two. In order to break out and achieve the true Tesla levels of success, the company will need to focus on bringing prices down in order to make vehicles accessible to a broader group of customers. Now, Lucid Motors is not just trying to build high-end luxury hypercars. Now, their goal is to optimize their production and cost savings in order to trickle down to be able to create lower-cost mass-market vehicles. Now, they're aiming for that low $25,000 price. However, that's far into the future, as right now they're just focused on getting production-ready cars that are high class. On November 29, 2016, state and company officials announced the planned construction of Lucid's $700 million manufacturing plant in Casa Grande, Arizona, which was projected to employ up to 2,000 workers by the mid-2020s, initially building 20,000 cars and expanding up to 130,000 cars per year. The factory was then designed to support a maximum capacity of 380,000 cars per year. Now, on September 17, 2018, Lucid Motors announced that they're in talks with a public investment fund of Saudi Arabia for funding value at over $1 billion. The investment was completed in April 2019. As of January 11, 2020, Lucid Motors was reportedly in talks with CCIV on Bloomberg and other various news outlets. Now, right off the bat, one of the key pros to me is that they have the former Tesla chief engineer in charge. They're also eligible for EV tax credits in Europe, US, and Canada, which would in turn help benefit EV vehicles. Now, they have a very good looking car, and they're targeting the upper class who has a lot more disposable income to be able to buy these products. They already have 1,400 employees, and their business model is similar to Tesla's, as they're skipping dealerships and selling directly to the customers. They're also using similar business tactics similar to Tesla and NIO, and we can see how well those companies have done. Now, some of the cons, the first one being debatable, is that they have a very expensive sedan, but it is very competitive with the Tesla Model S when EV tax credits are taken into account. Also, another con is that they're not in production yet, and they're currently on beta 2 prototypes. Okay, so on the flip side, since this is still in rumored, I want to talk about the SPAC that they're going to be merging with. Now, CCIV is Churchill Capital Corp, number 4. Now, CCIV is a $2 billion SPAC that is run by Michael Klein, the former co-CEO of Citigroup Marketings and Banking. Now, Michael Klein is known to be the Warren Buffett of the SPAC world in deal making. With his background, I can expect CCIV to be a blockbuster SPAC, similar to SBE or ChargePoint or QS or QuantumScape. Now, the CCIV management team is very competent, and they have solid financial backers, including the Saudi Arabia's Sovereign Wealth Fund, and they also have a viable product. Now, the con is that Saudi Arabia currently owns 50% of Lucid Motors via their investments, and the country is led by an unpredictable autocratic dictator, so the relationship with the kingdom could represent a moral, if not financial liability in the future. Additionally, there's many EVs that went public in 2020 and 2021 via SPAC, and not all will become successful. Now, what I want to do is quickly take us through the buyer process to see the kind of options that the Lucid Air is offering and to be able to understand what the customer is going through throughout the process. Right off the bat, we can see that they're labeling the projected range to be 517 miles. It's starting from $70,000, and the max horsepower is 1,080. So let's dive into designing our own. So we can see that Lucid only has one car being offered right now for reservations, the Air. However, there's 4 different models of it. The first one that's going to be available in spring 2021 is going to be the Air Dream Edition, which is going for $161,000. Shortly after, in summer of 2021, the Grand Touring comes out for $131,000. In late 2021, the Air Touring comes out for about $87,000. And lastly, in early 2022, the Air Pure comes out, which is going for about $70,000. Now, one of the main reasons I'm really bullish about the EV sector in general is because with Biden being president, they're really pushing for a more modern, sustainable infrastructure and an equitable, clean energy future. Joe Biden's plan is to put United States on an irreversible path to achieve zero net emissions by no later than 2050. So Biden will make a $2 trillion accelerated investment with a plan to deploy those resources over his first term, setting us on an irreversible course to meet the ambitious climate progress that science demands. Now, Biden will not hold back and will go gung-ho pushing for this, as there's been a lot more indications of why global warming and climate change is really affecting us. Now, Biden's going to make far-reaching investments in a myriad of different things, but since we're talking about Lucid Motors, let's talk about the auto industry. Now, Biden wants to create 1 million new jobs in the American auto industry, but to have it be mainly focused towards parts and materials to electric vehicle charging stations. Now, this is a big tailwind for the whole EV sector, and I think it's just another catalyst to be able to push this EV wave going forward. Now, let's quickly talk about some of the different risk factors. Now, one of the first risk factors right off the bat is that it could be a false rumor, and this merger doesn't go through. Obviously, that would be a massive letdown, and I could definitely see the stock plummeting all the way back to about $10. Another one is that Lucid ran into different production issues back in 2017 and 2018, and that's why it took them so long to release their car after they've been doing it for such a long time. Now, as we all know with EV companies, there's a lot of different production issues, and even Tesla went through this in its early stages as it went through production hell, as Elon Musk coined it. Now, this could be a big hurdle for Lucid to have to go through. However, I'm fairly confident in their ability to do so because they are ramping up and finishing the production of their factory in Arizona. And the last one is really Saudi Arabia being Saudi Arabia. In other words, them being an unpredictable partner and having a majority investment in this. Now, it's definitely something to take into consideration. However, I do think their previous investments have done really well, and it actually makes me a little bit more confident that a big partner is backing them. Now, on the valuation side of things, it's rumored to be taken at a $15 billion market cap. However, in my opinion, Lucid coming out at $15 billion is actually very cheap for its potential and long-term prospects. With Tesla being over $800 billion market cap, NIO just hitting a $100 billion market cap, for me, I can't see Lucid staying under $15 billion market cap. If this merger does go through, I definitely see a big pop in this stock, and I can definitely see its fair value being more towards $30 to $40 billion. Now, in summary, CCIV is a $2 billion SPAC that is rumored to bring Lucid Motors to the public market. Now, this transaction is rumored to be about $15 billion. Lucid Motors targets the upper end of the luxury EV market as their cheapest car is about $70,000. Peter Rawlinson, Tesla's ex-chief engineering officer, is now currently the CEO and CTO of Lucid Motors. Their luxury electric sedan is expected to rival Tesla's Model S, as the Lucid Air goes up to 517 miles on a single charge. It goes 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds and has eye-pleasing aesthetics. Now, over 100 million shares were traded on January 11th, which was the date of the rumor announcement, which shows that there's a lot of institutional and retail optimism and interest in this stock. Now, I'm really excited about this company as I've known about this company for about 3 to 4 years now. After I graduated, I was actually looking to apply there. However, I took another job elsewhere and that just never came back up again. Now, I think Lucid's products are very sleek, and if they are actually able to live up to what they're saying it does, then I think Lucid Motors has a very good chance of capturing a big market share of the higher end luxury EV market. Now, with all that, let's talk about what I'm going to be doing with the stock. Now, the announcement just came out yesterday, and I spent the whole day and night looking into this company and researching their products, their management team, just a whole bunch of different things about this rumor. Now, if this rumor is true and it is announced, I can definitely see the stock popping even above $20. Now, the stock currently sits about $14.50 as of the time of this recording, and I think it's actually a great chance to buy shares in now. Now, don't get me wrong, there is a lot of risk associated with this as the merger is not finalized by either party. However, I do think there's a lot of things pointing towards that it is going to go through. Now, one of the first reasons is that Klein already has a working relationship with the Saudis. He even helped manage sales of part of their state enterprises. And the Saudis already own about 50% of Lucid Motors. Now, there's already a lot of different working relationships between the SPAC, Lucid Motors, and Saudis. And I think this working relationship is a clear indicator that they are trying to work together. So what am I going to do with the stock? Well, I bought in today, and I'm slowly building a position into this company. I like to build this position quite heavily as I definitely see this as a big competitor to Tesla, and if they are able to reach their production goals, I can definitely see Lucid being worth a lot more in a couple years than it is as of today. Now, there's a lot of things I need to go right for Lucid to be able to get to that point. However, for me, I'm willing to take that bet. Now, I initiated a position today and I put about $10,000 of my own capital into this company. Now, it's going to be a very volatile ride, so I hope you guys are prepared if you guys do invest in this company. However, I am really bullish on its long-term prospects, and I think not only their management, but their product and the space that they're working in are all great signs. Well guys, thanks for sticking around. I would love to hear what you guys are planning to do with this stock. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think or what you guys are going to be doing. Now, if you guys like content like this, please make sure to smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the bell notifications. Now, I do spend a lot of time researching these companies as well as editing them, so you guys would be doing me a big favor if you guys can do that. Alright guys, thanks for sticking around, and let's go get that bag.